everybody. Welcome to the Tampa Bay Adobe user group. Thank you all for coming. Everybody, where are you watching from? Welcome, everybody. While everybody is writing their responses, I want to introduce a few people here that's on the stage with me. First, Collinx Mondesir is here with us today. Welcome. Thank you for being here today. And also Andrew, who is my co-host for the evening or afternoon. So thank you all for coming. Let's just see who's in the comments area. Okay, so we've got Myra or Myros, and we've got Selah. Welcome, welcome. So pumped. Now, believe it or not, those are actually two students that attend the Los Angeles Film School. So welcome, welcome. I, of course, invited some students. So welcome, welcome. And we got a Facebook user who is, if you are, let me give you this little bit of information. If you are attending via the Facebook and you have not given permission, please give permission to StreamYard to show your name and profile pic. And the reason why you want to do that is that at the end of this event, we are going to be raffling off a 12-month subscription to Creative Cloud at the end of the presentation. So you want to be present to win. And also, we want to know who is joining us. Oh, looks like it's Edward. Edward, please. Edward's out of Orlando. So, Edward, please go ahead and give StreamYard your permission. That way we know who is picking the raffle number. Also, we are going to be seeing if you have any questions along the way. That's right, Myra. She is in my class this month. So welcome, welcome. I think you're going to get a great out of this. Well, I want to thank a few people moving forward here. First is StreamYard. Thank you so much for allowing us to use their software for the event. Also, I also thank Andrew again for being my co-host for the day. I'm using StreamYard for the very first time broadcasting. Oh, and Sean has joined us from Beverly Hills, Florida. Welcome, Sean.
I didn't know there was a Beverly Hills, Florida.
Well, there is. So welcome, welcome. So yes, I want to thank Andrew for being my little teammate today, because without him, I don't think this could have been possible. I also wanted to let you guys know about our Tampa Bay Adobe user group. You can find us on the Tampa Bay Adobe user group website at tampabayadobe.usergroup.com. So check us out there for future events. Also, you can find us on social media on Facebook at facebook.com groups / Tampa Bay Adobe. So check us out there as well. So without further ado, that's about 3 minutes of information. Like I said, we're going to be doing a raffle at the end, so please stay for the entire thing, and then we'll go do a raffle at the very end. But before all that, why you came for the presentation, I'd like to introduce you our speaker for today, Collinx Mondesir. Collinx is an artist, Adobe community expert, a senior graphic designer, and a brand strategist on a mission to empower individuals to unleash their potential and transform their passions into profitable brands that will leave a lasting impact. Will you please all help me welcome Collinx to the stage? Collinx, I'm going to go ahead and share your screen now.
Yeah,
Welcome.
thank you, Sarah. Hi, Sarah. Hi, Andrew. Hello, everyone. As Sarah said it, I'm Collinx, and I'm absolutely thrilled to be here with all of you today. Um, as Sarah said it, I'm a designer, and design isn't just what I do; it's who I am. Um, Whether I'm crafting a brand strategy or exploring the depth of color psychology, creativity is at the heart of everything I do. And thank you again, Sarah, for inviting me, and also thanks to the Tampa Adobe User Group to be for inviting me to be a part of this fantastic event. Your passions for design is infectious, and I'm honored to join you all today. And to all of you lovely folks who have taken the time to join this conversation, thank you. Your presence here makes this experience all the more enriching. So let's go, Sarah.
Take it away.
All right. Oh, okay. What's on the agenda for today? First of all, let me talk a little bit about me. My name is again Collinx Mondesir. I have a degree in psychology and over 10 years of experience as a senior graphic designer. Over time, I specialized in brand design and brand strategy. I'm also, like Sarah, an Adobe community expert. And personally, I like to call myself a positive change maker. And what I want the most is to use my creativity to make a positive impact in the world. Beyond design, I'm a multidisciplinary artist, delving into music, singing, and poetry. So creativity truly permits every aspect of my existence. So for me, creativity is not just a job, it's a way of life. So let's get back to our agenda. We're diving into the fascinating world where psychology meets design. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's see the stage and make sure we're all on the same page. I'll be guiding us through the journey, sharing insight and learning from each other along the way. Let's make this six session, guys, a space for exploration, discovery, and plenty of moments. So we're gonna laugh and share stuff about design and psychology. So without further ado, let's kick things off and uh, let's go to the agenda. So first of all, um, this is the plan. This is the plan for this conversation. So, as I said it, we are going to talk about emotion, psychology, and design. First of all, we are going to define some terminology, go through the psychology of design, see some techniques for infusing emotion into design, by example, Gestalt theory, color psychology, typography, and imagery, storytelling through design. And after, I will conclude and open the mic for question. So let's go. Before Before going further, let me give some context about the subject. Design is more than just aesthetics. It's a powerful tool for human connection and communication. In today's digital world where visual content is everywhere, design serves as the bridge between brands and their audience, conveying messages and eliciting responses. Research shows that well-executed design fosters emotional connections with consumers, leading to greater brand loyalty and purchase intent. But design isn't just for commercial purposes. It also sparks conversations and drives social change. In a world saturated with visual content, the ability to evoke emotion through design is crucial. Emotion influence decision making and behavior, making emotionally resonant designs more memorable and engaging. Um, Studies have shown that emotionally resonant advertisements, by example, are more likely to be shared and remembered by viewers, highlighting the importance of emotional resonance in design. With consumers bombarded by visual messages daily, designers must cut through the noise and capture attention. Simply being visually appealing is no longer enough. I'm sorry to say that, but design must evoke emotions and create meaningful connections. This is where the world of emotion is in design becomes um, increasingly relevant. Design that elicit emotional responses are more likely to resonate with viewers, leading to higher engagement, brain recall, and conversion. While aesthetics are important, True innovation in design lies in addressing human needs and desires. Human-centered design approaches prioritize understanding users' needs and emotions, creating solutions that resonate on a deeper level, putting people at the center of design process. Designer can create experiences that are not only visually appealing but also emotionally satisfying. In summary, um, design is a powerful medium for human connection and communication, especially when imbued with emotion that resonate with viewers. Moving beyond aesthetics to address human needs is essential for creating impactful and meaningful design. So now that we've done a bit context setting, it's important it's very important to us to define a few keywords. So let's start by defining what emotion are, what emotion are in design, and also what is the meaning of visual messages. So first of all, let's start with emotions. Emotions are the feelings and sensations that we experience in response to stimuli, situations, or thoughts. They encompass a wide range of states from joy and excitement to sadness and fear and play a fundamental role in shaping our perceptions, decisions, and behaviors. Emotions are often accompanied by psychological changes such as increased heart rate or changes in facial expression and can vary in intensity and duration. So now let's see what's the meaning of emotion in design. In the context of design, emotion refers to the intentional incorporation of feelings and sentiment into visual elements to evoke specific responses from the audience. It involves the strategic use of colors, imagery, typography, and layout to elicit emotional reactions that resonate with viewers. Emotion in design goes beyond mere aesthetics. It aims to create meaningful connections with the audience, evoke empathy, and communicate messages on a deeper, more personal level. Now, what is a visual message, or what are visual messages? Visual messages are form of communication conveyed through visual elements such as images, graphics, colors, and typography, rather than through written or spoken language. These messages are designed to convey information, evoke emotions, and communicate ideas to viewers quickly and effectively. Visual messages can be found in various forms, including advertisement, logos, infographics, and website design. They play a crucial role in capturing audience attention, conveying brand identity, and influencing audience perception and behaviors. Now that we've defined our keywords, let's take a look at two steps to incorporate emotions in design. Are you with me? Let's go. The first step is understanding the psychology of design. Specifically, we're going to see how human psychology influences design choices. Human psychology Human psychology serves as a guiding force in shaping design choices, influencing how individuals perceive and interact with visual content, drawing from principles such as Gestalt psychology. Designers arrange visual elements to enhance clarity and appeal, leveraging concepts like proximity, similarity, and closure. We're gonna see all of those concepts later. Moreover, insight from Maslow hierarchy of needs inform designers or visual creators understanding of fundamental human desires and motivations, leading to the creation of products and visuals that cater to psychological safety, belonging, esteem, and self actualization needs. Additionally, cognitive psychology plays a crucial role by informing strategy to optimize user experience, considering factors such as attention, memory, and decision making process. So let's get back a little bit to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. So what is the Maslow's hierarchy of needs? For those who don't know what Maslow's pyramid of needs is, Maslow's hierarchy of needs is a psychological theory that categorizes human needs into 5 levels: psychological, safety, social, esteem, and self-actualization. These levels represent the progressive fulfillment of fundamental human desires, starting with the basic survival needs and culminating in the pursuit of personal growth and fulfillment. So, um, earlier we said that cognitive psychology plays also a crucial role. So, let's see how cognitive psychology could play that role in design. There are three things to consider when we're talking about cognitive psychology and design. First of all, in design, cognitive psychology plays a crucial role in understanding how users process information, make decisions, and interact with interfaces. By applying insight from cognitive psychology, designers can optimize the usability and effectiveness of their creations. One aspect of cognitive psychology relevant to design is attention. Designers must be considered how users allocate their attention to different elements within a design and prioritize information accordingly. By strategically directing attention to key features or call to action, designers can ensure that important messages are noticed and act upon. Memory also plays a significant role. Designers can leverage principles of memory retention, such as tracking and repetition, to make information more memorable and accessible to users. Furthermore, understanding also decision-making process is essential in design. Designers can minimize cognitive load by simplifying choices and providing clear pathways for users to follow. By reducing the cognitive effort required to make decisions, designers can create a more seamless and enjoyable user experience. Now, let's look at techniques for infusing emotions into design. The first technique uh, we are going to start with is the Gestalt theory, which is a psychology theory that allows us designers or visual creators to use shapes to convey human emotions. What is the meaning of the Gestalt theory? The Gestalt theory uh, came from from psychology. It is a fundamental principle in design that describes how humans naturally perceive and organize visual information. According to this theory, people tend to perceive elements as unified whole rather than individual parts. So there are several laws of Gestalt theory, but in this presentation, we only will consider 6 of them. So let's start with the first one. The first law we are going to talk about is the law of similarity. The law of similarity. This principle states that elements that share similar characteristics, such as shape, color, or size, are perceived as belonging together. This principle states that element that share similar characteristics such as shape, color, or size are perceived as belonging together. For example, in a web page design, using consistent colors for all navigation buttons helps users quickly identify them as related element navigation purposes. So elements that have similar visual appearance seems to be more related or grouped than the ones not sharing the same attributes. So the main characteristic that boost the impression of similarity are size, shapes, and color. So when what does that mean really in design? So by example, in UI and UX design, when users notice similar element in the UI, they can categorize them as particular pattern. And thanks to thanks to this key, quickly recognize the meaning of specific UI control, such as a button. This is why it is so crucial for the primary buttons to look like the same on every page of a website, by example. So now let's go to the next law. The next law is the law of proximity. According to this law, objects that are close to each other are perceived as a group or relate to each other. Example, in a magazine layout, placing related images and text close to each other signals to readers that they are part of the same story or topic. Are you with me? All right.
Yes.
So proximity may be used to group content and action control that are related to each other. It's also bounded with white space that plays an essential role in the principle. It boosts the relation between elements and strengthening the designer's intention. Let's keep going. Now let's see the law of continuity. No, first, let's see the law of closure. The law of closure suggests that the mind perceives incomplete shapes or pattern as complete. If you look at this image, this is a circle and this is a pentagon. So even if they are not complete, our mind perceives them as complete because the shapes are similar and they are close. A logo design featuring a partially hidden silhouette of an animal encourages viewers to mentally complete the shape, creating a memorable and engaging visual. This is very interesting. Now let's see the law of continuity. The law of continuity posits that when the eye is guided to move from one object to another, our perception tends to see objects arranged in lines or curves as more related or grouped. Example, in a website design, using a curved arrow to guide users through a step-by-step process visually directs their attention along continuous continuous um, continuous path. So when the eye is guided to move from one object to another, we speak about the law of continuity. Our perceptions, our perception tends to see objects arranged in lines or curves as more related or grouped. So in design, when you see a group of elements like photo gallery, sliders, tabs, or even sample lists, you may notice they are using this principle of continuation. Let's keep moving. Now let's see the law of figured ground. Figure ground. The law of figure ground, according to this law, perception is organized into a figure. which stands out against a background, and a ground which recedes into a background. What does that mean? In a website design, by example, using a curved how to guide users through a step-by-step process visually direct their attention along a continuous path. I don't think this is the great example. Let me give you another example about this law. Every time you see the model page or pop up on a website, you are a witness of figure ground principle usage in action. There are several techniques to distinguish plans of focus on mobile. You can use parallax background, by example, semi-transparent overlay, shadows, or blur the element in the background. So this principle helps us to create design system that prefer each techniques to be used in them. So this principle allows us to pop one element and say in front and keep other elements in the background. Now let's see the law of symmetry. This law suggests that the mind perceives symmetrical shapes as walls. Example, think of a butterfly with its wings perfectly mirrored on both sides. Our brains see this symmetry and automatically recognize the butterfly as balanced and complete. So, for this law in design, in UI design, by example, when symmetrical navigation menu, by example, tends to be perceived as more stable. The principle is excellent to use when you design galleries or banners. In the other hand, some asymmetric in design can make it more exciting and also dynamic. So Gestalt theory provides valuable insight into how humans perceive and organize visual information, offering designers a powerful framework for creating cohesive and impactful designs. For example, sharp angular shapes such as triangles or jagged lines can evoke feelings of tension, aggression, or excitement, while soft, rounded shapes like the shapes I'm using in my presentation or curves may elicit emotion of calmness, comfort, minimalism, or warmth. Users have specific way of perceiving and interpreting visual messages. So now that we've seen some of the principal laws of Gestalt theory and how they can help us put intention into our visual creation to move ahead with our subject, let's now look at the psychology of color. Color psychology is the study of how colors influence human emotions, behaviors, and perceptions. It explores the psychological effects that different colors have on individual, and all these effects can be leveraged to evoke specific responses in design, marketing, and branding. So colors have a profound impact on human psychology, often evoking specific emotion and association. For example, red is commonly associated with passion and energy, while blue conveys tranquility and trust. Yellow exudes positivity and optimism, while green represent um, growth and harmony. Understanding the meaning behind colors allow us to strategically use them to convey desired emotions and messages in their designs, effectively engaging our audience on the deeper level. So let's see how you can leverage the power of color psychology to intentionally evoke specific emotions in your visual creations. The first tip I'm going to share with you is color associations. Uh, Give me a moment. Yep. So, util, util, ut, utilize the inherent association people have with different colors to evoke specific emotion. We meant to color associations. For example, warm colors like red and orange are often associated with energy, passion, and excitement, while cool colors like blue and green are associated with calmness, tranquility, and trust. You can use warm colors for energy and passion, and you could incorporate warm colors such as red, orange, and yellow to evoke feeling of excitement. You can use also these colors strategically in areas where you want to grab attention or create a sense of urgency. By example, you see the logo of the Red Cross or the logo of the color that generally they use for urgency, 911 by example. So these kind of colors could be used such as call to action button or promotional banners when we want strategically to convey those kind of emotion or feelings like energy, passion, excitement, and urgency. You should also avoid overuse of warm colors because they hot and they can be visually overwhelming if used excessively. Um, Other
Colin,
thing,
Colleagues, can I ask a quick question real quick?
go ahead,
I
go ahead.
noticed, I noticed on your color association wheel, I see the colors and the words inside of them, and they make sense. You know, we all. But one of the things that I think was interesting is on the outside of the colors, you have words as well. You've got, like for instance, aggressiveness, love, submission, awe. Can you talk a little bit about that? Because I don't think many people have seen that before. We've always seen color associated with words,
De-
but in between words is kind of interesting to me.
definitely. As you see it, there are many associations that psychologically related to each color. So each color has a meaning. By example, you can see the yellow could be associated with joy, and the red could be associated with anger. So if you want to convey those every all of those words are more than words, they are emotions and feelings. So if you need to convey those kind of emotion, you can use those these uh, I can call these a spectrum, as a guide to help you pick the grid color to convey intentionally the exact emotion you want to convey.
Can you ask answer some questions we have from some of the people that are asking about color? Would you mind? Do you mind?
Yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
Um, how do you effectively use color psychology in the creation of like a brand color palette, for instance?
Yeah, that's a very great question. First of all, the first thing to consider when you are going to to choose a color is to know your audience. Who is going to interact with the brand, and what's the look and feel we want to express. Once we got those responses, we can start exploring colors. Another important thing is to to go deep dive into the psychographic and demographic of these audience. By example, if I'm going to create a brand that will target kids, so I have to choose the look and feel that will resonate with kids. So I can't use cold colors on a brand that will target kids. You understand? The same thing for a brand that will target that will want to express luxury, or that will want to entertain people, like Netflix, by example. So uh, three things to consider when you create a brand before choosing a color palette. You should know the audience, um, decide strategically what kind of the look and feel you want to express, and what kind of emotions you want to convey with the brand. So I can also add what kind of story you want to tell through the brand identity. So when you set up those things, you can carefully choose one color or two, or create a palette to define the or to complete the overall brand identity.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing that extra
Yeah,
detail.
yeah. So I can continue.
Sure, sure. Yes. Please continue.
Yes. Um, I was saying that if you want to express calmness and trust, you can choose cool colors. So when I'm talking about cool colors, I'm talking about blue, green, and purple. Those colors help us evoke feelings of calmness, tranquility, and trust. You can use these colors and spaces where you want to create a sense of relaxation or convey professionalism and reliability. For example, many of bank or security companies use blue to express that kind of professionalism and reliability. So the next step uh, we are going to talk about is um, color combinations. So um, combine colors strategically to amplify emotional impact. You can you should definitely be very intentional in which color you're going to use to create a palette when you designing a brand, which use colors adjacent to each other on the color wheel, create harmony and evoke subtitle cohesive emotions. On the other hand, you can use also um, complementary color schemes, which use colors opposite each other on the color wheel to create contrast and evoke dynamic, intense emotion. So for a brain, there are two ways they are complementary. So there are, first of all, the primary colors, which are the most used colors of the brain, and also secondary colors, that are colors we will use to support the primary colors and create a sense of to evoke dynamic and intense emotions. So the last thing about color combination, we should create contrast. Use contrasting colors to create visual interest and evoke dynamic emotions. You should also incorporate contrast strategically to highlight important element or creating emphasis within your design, such as using a bold accent color against a neutral background. By example, you saw I have a nice gradient there, and I use the white color to create a contrast, and also use the yellow on the black to make it pop and relevant. That's create a nice dynamic and keep it very interesting for the viewers. So now it's very important to consider the color context. Consider the context in which color are used to influence emotional responses. For instance, the same color may evoke different emotions depending on its application. We have a perfect example. Netflix is red, and Red Cross is also red. So for one, it's entertainment. For another, it's urgency. I don't know if you get the difference. It's very important to consider the context in which colors are used, because the same color may evoke different emotions depending on its application. A soft pastel blue may evoke feelings of serenity when used in healthcare, while it may convey coldness or sterility when used in the tech environment. So you should be very careful and consider the color context. One other thing is um, um, to do not overlook the cultural aspect of colors. Recognize the cultural significance of colors. Um, Colors have different meanings and association in different culture. So you should be very careful about what a color mean in a culture and what it means in another culture. Color may have different meanings and associations in different cultures. So it's important to consider cultural context when using color and design to ensure messages are effectively communicated and understood across diverse audiences. So be mindful of cultural association and meaning of colors when designing um, for diverse audiences. Make some research and adapt your color palette accordingly to align with cultural preferences and avoid potential misunderstanding of putting associations. So strategically, whether you a designer or a visual artist, always choose your colors um, always choose your colors according to their psychological association and cultural meaning. This will enable you to influence mood and perception and behavior. I don't know if you have question before I go to the next tips that will talk about typography and imagery.
Yeah, so Colleagues, there was a few in here. I'm going to go ahead and share them if you don't mind. There was a question about what is the source of the color star that you had?
Source of
The color star. I'm not really sure what that means, but that is what,
I
yeah,
think they're
yeah.
I think they're asking where did you get that star from? Who created it originally?
Oh, you will find it on Google. If you go on Google or any kind of uh, uh, y- y- um, search browser, you type color psychology, you will find a lot of those images that give an overview about all the associations they do with colors and emotions. So. Uh,
But do
just
you know
go on
the
Google and
originator?
type color psychology or color wheel or color psychology spectrum. You'll get a lot of options.
Another question was how many colors should be paired together?
Uh, how many? It depends. It depends. But for a brain, avoid using too much colors. So you could have two or three primary colors and also one or two secondary colors, and don't use too much.
Yeah, yeah. Um, Another person, B. Craddock, said, perhaps there are color stars for each culture. That makes sense to me based on what you've said so far.
Um, I won't say it like that,
Yeah, see.
but effectively, depend of the culture, colors could convey different types of emotions. By example, if you look at these images, um, for the Western culture, orange means harvest warmth and affordable creativity, and for the um, far eastern culture, it means happiness and spirituality, and for the Indian culture, it means courage, love, and for the Middle Eastern culture, it means loss or mourning. If I The same thing for red, for the Western culture, it means love, danger, action. I could add passion, but for the Middle Eastern culture, it means danger, pretty much the same thing. But for the Indian culture, it means beauty, wealth, and power. So there are some similarities, but for each culture, we should be very careful about the meaning when we are creating brands for several cultures.
Great job. Great job. I think that is all the questions about color. There was one from the very beginning. It had to do with, it was a general question. It was about how to adjust your designs for a public's shrinking attention and memory span.
Or what's the question?
How do you adjust your designs, probably color involved as well, for the public's shrinking attention span and memory span?
uh this question is ask me to that's what I'm talking about. This overall conversation is to be able to do that, to adjust design so it could be relevant. So it's about gestalt theory, psychology of colors, typography, imagery, and everything.
Mm. Selah has, how do you get your colors to play along with each other? Do you change hues and saturations, brightness, or maybe just usage?
Or you could repeat, Sarah.
Yeah, sure. The question was, how do you get your colors to play along with each other? Intermingle with each other. Do you change hues? Do you change saturation or brightness, or maybe just usage? Like how
It's
often?
easy. It's easy. You should be very intentional when you combine um, uh, uh, the diverse colors and consider the context, and also create harmony. So when you are designing and using colors, you are designing systems. That means they should be able to work together. So if I have one color with a dark color, I know that the next one should be light, because uh, um, the dark color will support the light one. You get it? So I know that I can create a color palette with only dark colors. So that way I create harmony between colors, even if they are on different part of this color spectrum. They are able to be uh, um, to 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 be functional together. So consider the contrast, make good combinations, and also avoid using colors that are too closed, and also uh, combine bright and dark colors so you can get the great contrast, and they could be functional and create a system.
Mhm. Mhm. Good.
All
Yeah,
right. All right.
great questions. Thank you.
You're very welcome. So now we are going to talk about typography, and we are going to explore uh, or we can use font styles and imagery to effectively convey mood and tone through visual messages. So typography is more than just selecting font. It's the art and technique of arranging type to make reading language legible, readable, and visually appealing. In design, typography plays a crucial role in conveying tone, personality, and meaning. From elegant scripts to bold sans serifs, each typeface carries its own unique characteristics and evokes distinct emotions. So we're gonna see three techniques behind using typography, and all designers can leverage typography to convey mood and tone effectively. So the first one is font selection. When you are designing a brain or just a flyer, a poster, or in a website or whatever design project that where you are going to choose font, you should be careful. You should be careful about the selection of the font you are going to use. So you choose fonts that aligns with the desired mood and tone of the design. For example, serif fonts like Times New Roman convey a sense of traditions and formality, while sans serif fonts like Helvetica express modern and clean design. You should also consider the personality and characteristic of each font. Playful and decorative font evoke a light-hearted mood, while bold and condensed font convey strength and authority. So if you see this image, there's a lot of types. So, by example, this one is a serif, like Times New Women. This one is decorative or handwriting or script, you could call it. This one is basic sans serif, like Helvetica, and each of those fonts convey a sense of convey a mood, a tone. They have personality and meaning. So the next one is font pairing. Choose the font that complement each other. Consider the target audience, preferences, and expectations. You should take into account the demographics characteristic. I said it earlier. When and being intentional in design means consider the target audience, consider the kind of emotions we want to convey and the look and feel we want to express. So before choosing a font or before pairing a group of font, you should take into account the demographic characteristic. Check cultural background and stylistic preferences of your target audience. Tailor your font pairing choices to resonate with their taste and expectation, ensuring that the typography appeals to their sensibilities and enhance their user experiences. You should also reflect on the desired look and feel. Think about the overall aesthetic you want to achieve with your design, whether it's slick and modern, playful and whimsical, or classic and elegant. Your font pairing should complement the visual style and contribute to the overall atmosphere of the design. The one last thing about font pairing is to ensure the font pairing resonate with the overall theme and message. Align your font pairing choices with the theme, tone, and purpose of your design. That's what I'm talking about, being very intentional. Whether it's a branding project, marketing campaign, or an editorial layout, the typography should enhance the overall message and contribute to the cohesiveness of the design concept. The last thing about typography is the typography hierarchy. Typography hierarchy is very important. You should establish hierarchy within the typography to emphasize key elements and guide the viewer reading experience. Use variation in font size, whether and font size, weight, and style to differentiate between headings, subheadings, and body text. If you see there, by example, this is an heading. If I go back, this is a main title. If I go there, you see, this is a big title, and this is a subheading or heading, but it's a part of this big title, and this is a body text. So look at how I play with font style and sizes to create a hierarchy. So when you are looking the screen, you immediately see what's the most important and uh, uh, what is what's the most important on the screen. So let me go back to where I was. Yes, I was talking about typography hierarchy. So you should also adjust the hierarchy based on the importance of the information and intended emphasis. Larger, bolder text draw attention to important messages, while smaller, lighter text provide supporting detail. So, do you have question about typography?
Let's see. It looks like Marslava says, how can you pair a font effectively and accurately so that it matches together?
Or can
You want me
could
to say it
you?
again?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay, sorry. How can you pair a font effectively and accurately so that it matches together?
Yes, again, we are talking about human-centered design. That means we should go back again on our target audience. So when we are pairing fonts, we should go deep dive into the preferences and expectation of our audience. Most important, we should we should go we should make research and see what kind of association have been made with a kind of font and what's kind of emotions it's convey. By example, if I go back, I told you that um, typography has personality and meaning. So before pairing a group of fonts, we should know what is their meaning. And when we know their meaning, we could easily pair them and create system to complement the overall brand identity. By example, if I'm using uh, a basic sans serif font as heading, I know that I, depend of the look and feel or the feeling I want to express, I can easily choose a serif font as a subheading and create a sense of luxury. If I want to express luxury, serif font are the best to express luxury. If I want to express joy, I can go back and use and combine and pair um, decorative font or handwriting font.
Great, great.
So if you see, if you look at this image, those are heading, and for the body text depend of the brain or the kind of emotion we want to convey. um, Body texts are always basic and without any kind of decoration, but it depends of the audience and the emotion we want to convey, and also the personality we want to assign to the brain.
Great.
So to make perfect font pairing, we should consider the audience, consider the meaning of the font, the personality we want to convey, we want to assign to the brand, and the look and feel, the overall look and feel we want to express.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
We have about 1 minute until 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, of course.
Yeah.
But I had one more question from Sayla. She says, How do you construct typographical hierarchies? Do you just choose random sizes or play around with how things look, then establish hierarchy?
Again, it depends. If you are a branding designer, it doesn't matter to choose specific sizes. But in UI and UX design, there's some rules about what's the minimal size of body text or of a heading and everything. But it depends, or it depends definitely. In branding design, we don't have to be focused on specific sizes, but the most important is to use hierarchy to emphasize key element and guide the viewers reading experience. If you want to make to if you want the viewers or the users to be focused on a specific element and remove and put other element on the back, so you can definitely make the heading bigger and play also with the colors of the body text to make that. By example, I think I use it there. You see, this description is more the heading is more light than the body text. This is a light gray, and this is a full light. That way you definitely saw that there is difference in terms of hierarchy between the heading and the body text.
Awesome. That's
Same
great.
thing there, same thing there. So I want you to focus on the heading, because I'm going to read that, and I don't want you to read it with me while I'm reading. So I create I play with the size and the color to emphasize the heading while hiding the body text.
Makes
Um,
sense.
yeah.
Makes sense. Thank you.
So um, there is a last a technique I'm going to talk about it before
Okay.
conclude.
Yeah.
So the final point, which concerns how to evoke emotion in design through storytelling. Give me a sec. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I forget talking about imagery. So yes, we should talk about imagery, because typography and imagery are complementary. So for imagery, uh, I can share with you three key techniques for using imagery to convey tone and mood, subject matter, and narrative. So you should choose imagery that highlights with the theme, message, and tone of your design. The subject matter of your imagery should resonate with your audience and reinforce the intended mood or atmosphere. You could also use storytelling techniques to create a narrative within your imagery, engaging viewers on an emotional level. And also, you could incorporate element of symbolism and metaphor to add layers and meaning and depth to your imagery, inviting viewers to interpret and engage with the visual narrative on a deeper level. When we are using image, we should consider color grading and treatment. It's very important, because uh, it could help us convey emotions. So you could utilize color grading techniques to evoke specific emotion and set the tone of your imagery. Adjusting hues, saturation, and contrast can dramatically alter the mood of a photo, transforming it from vibrant and energetic to mute and contemplative. So you could experiment with different color palette to evoke different emotions. Warm tone like reds and oranges may convey excitement and energy, while cooler tones like blues and greens can evoke calmness and tranquility. You should also be very intentional about the image you're going to choose. So choose emotive imagery. When I'm talking about emotive imagery, it's pretty much um image that elicits specific emotion relevant to the user journey in interface context. For instance, opt for images of smiling face or joyful activities to convey positivity and delight in the social networking app, while serene landscapes or calming natural scenes may evoke a sense of relaxation and tranquility in a meditation app. So you should always conduct research and testing to understand emotional triggers and preferences of your target audience. Use these insights to curate imagery that resonates with users and enhances their um, emotional emotional uh, the emotional preferences. Each carefully selected image has the power to speak volumes, setting the stage for delightful visual messages that resonate deeply with people. So it's evident how imagery can truly breathe life into design. Look at those movie posters. Each of them convey specific kind of emotion. So um, uh, they breathe life into the design, and they definitely guide people on an emotional journey in shaping the experience. So now let's move on to our final point, which concern how to evoke emotions and design through storytelling. All right. So engaging emotion through narrative is all about weaving captivating stories into our designs to connect with users on a deeper level. It's like crafting an immersive journey where every element from visuals to interaction plays a role in, in unfolding the narrative. First of all, you should focus on visual hierarchy. Organize your design elements in a clear and logical hierarchy that guide the viewers right through the story. Use size, color, and placement to emphasize important information and create a narrative natural flow. After you should also start with a strong focal point that captures attention and draws the viewer into the narrative. Arrange supporting element around the focal point to provide context and structural to the story. Use consistent branding. Maintain consistency in your design element. That's very important, including colors, font, and imagery to reinforce your brand identity and create a cohesive visual language. Consistent branding helps build recognition and trust with your audience. Incorporate brand elements such as logo, tagline, brand colors through your design to strengthen the connection between the story and your brain. Make sure these elements are integrated seamlessly um, into the narrative without overshadowing the content. That's very important. So, the story should be also compelling. You should tell a compelling story. Um, Craft a narrative that resonates with your audience. Design is more than aesthetics. So, use storytelling techniques such as character development, conflict resolution, and plot twists to create intrigue and engagement. Consider the emotion you want to evoke in your audience and tailor your story accordingly. End your design with a strong conclusion that leaves a lasting impression and reinforces the main message of the story. Whether it's a call to action, a memorable quote, or a thought provoking image, make sure it ties back to the overarching narrative and leaves viewers with something to remember. So look at those posters, Black Lives Matter. Look, all of these images are relevant and tell a story. So now, key takeaway, what you should remember from this presentation. Design is more than just aesthetics. Design as communication um, um, is like your voice in the crowded room. It's not just about making things pretty, it's about speaking to your audience. Don't underestimate the power of emotions in design. Design is a language of emotions. It's about tapping into people's feeling, making them smile, laugh, or even shed a tear. Embrace the power of emotions in your design using colors, images, and font to create experiences that resonate with heart. Learn how Gestalt psychology can improve your design. Gestalt principles will helps you understand how people perceive and interact with your design, guiding you to arrange elements in a way that feels natural and intuitive. Colors aren't just pretty, they have meaning. Colors have a language of their own, speaking volumes without saying a word. Dive into color psychology to understand how different hues can evoke specific emotions and set the mood for your design. Choose your colors wisely, considering cultural associations and audience preferences. Pay attention to the font you use. Font, fonts are the voice of your design, setting the tone and personality of your message. Pay attention to typography, ensuring that your fonts are consistent, readable, and aligned with the overall look and feel of your design. Images can speak volumes. Pictures paint 1,000 words, and in design, they can speak volumes. Choose your images carefully, selecting visuals that support your message and evoke the desired emotions. Keep them relevant, high quality, and culturally sensitive to ensure that they resonate with your audience. And the last one is design is about telling story. Your design is more than just a pretty picture, it's a story waiting to be told. Use storytelling techniques to engage your audience, guiding them through a narrative that captivates their imagination and leaves a lasting impression, whether it's a brand story and a product journey or an interactive experience. Let your design speak for itself. Thank you, everyone.
Thank
Sarah,
you. Thank
your
you.
mic is yours.
Yeah, there was one question that came up right at the very end. I'll go ahead and throw it up on the screen. And while the question's up on the screen, I'm going to ask everybody that's on the call if you want to get in on the raffle. I would like for you to pick a number between the numbers of 50 and 85. Pick a number between 50 and 85. I pre-selected a number somewhere between 50 and 85. Put your number into the comments, and whoever gets closest to the number that I picked will win the 12-month Creative
Oh,
Cloud. If you're a student and you win, you can't add it on to your school's account, but you can create your own account with Adobe because it's free to create an account with Adobe. And so you can use this as a separate 12-month, using it for 12 months. So I just want to put that out there. So the question is, how do you practice all of this so that you can use this as it becomes second nature to you? Like, how have you, being a graphic designer for so long, how has this become second nature to you?
all right. Let my design speak for itself. I'm gonna share with you some one or two example of my work, and or do I applied all of a all of um, all of those principles.
Okay.
So
Feel free to share your screen. And while
yes,
he's showing the screen, I want to remind you the number needs to be somewhere between 50, the number 50, and 85. So if you gave me 18, for instance, that's not going to work. So if you could pick a number between 50, number 50, and the number 85, please put your numbers in there. So fix your
yeah.
18.
Let me just take this project by example. Do you see my screen?
Yes, Sunify.
All right. Yeah, this is an example of a project. Sunify. Sunify is a modern solar energy brand epitomizing the seamless blend of the day to night power and its visual identity. Their vision is to illuminate life with sustainable energy. So the challenge for this brand was to be able to convey uh, um, to blend uh, the daylight and also um, uh, um, it was very the idea to let the audience feel like even if this brand is their friend on the day and also on the night. So not generally when we are designing energy blend, there's the yellow, the blue, but I chose to use the sunset to create a contrast between the 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 day and the night. So this logo, uh, the conception is an echo of the sun's ray, an emblem of growth and vitality. And pay attention to the meaning to see how intentional I was while designing this brand. So first of all, I have some kind of emotion and meaning I wanted to convey, like vitality, growth, power, and cleaner future. So I was very intentional on everything. So if you take a look there, you see I use a basic and pure font, minimalist font to convey a sense of modernism and minimalism. So I also use the spirit of the sun rays to create a minimalism icon that express the look and feel of the light. And now that's the full color on the purple gradient. And now look at how I develop the overall brand identity. So look at the color palette. There's a lot of contrast. I have this light purple, this light yellow, and also I have this dark purple. And there's also it will be very easy to harmonize them and make the logo relevant. So on this gradient, you see I use white and it fits and create and on the dark purple, you see all the yellow shine. And this is a poster example. This is a tote bag. Another poster example, and some mock-ups. So yeah, it's all about psychology, being empathetic and make a lot of research and create human-centered design.
Cool.
I can share also. Let me open another one. For this one, the owner wanted to convey a sense of luxury. So look at the brand and let me know if you feel that it's a luxury brand. Do you feel that it's a luxury brand?
Yes. I think it looks like a luxury brand because of the
Yeah,
gold and
yeah. There is a gold. The font is a serif font. The main heading, the color palette, imagery also are premium. So look at the look and feel. Even on black and white, it is still premium. Products. You don't have to use a lot of assets. You could just play with the brand elements and definitely create a cohesive brand identity that resonates with people. Yeah. And if you allow me to share a last one, um, um, let me take Viago. Viago is wanted to convey elegance, mobility. Um, so it's a luxury travel brand offering an unparalleled experience in urban mobility. So you don't have to always use gold to convey luxury. So you're going to see it there. Do you feel that this brand feel looks like a luxury brand? The color palette, some app
A
mockups,
modern look to me. Yeah.
yeah, some bag, so website, business card, poster template, yep, the landing page banner, yep. So that's it. uh as long as you focus on your audience and you know exactly what kind of emotions you want to convey, and you know the meaning of every elements you are going to use to create your brain, it's going to resonate, because it's all about that, knowing the meaning of typography you're going to use, the meaning of colors, what resonate with the audience, and what kind of emotions and look and feel that the brand want to express.
very cool. Very cool. Well, I have some exciting news. The number that was chosen prior to the event uh, was was the number 71. So if we look back in the comments, it looks like 72 Andrea Bats Latson wins. Congratulations. Very good. So she got the closest first.
Congratulations.
So she is our winner for the night. The number was 71. So great job, everybody. There's one question here. Let me show it. It says the PMS color identification. Can designers still use legacy PMS colors? Meaning, remember, they took the PMS colors out of Illustrator, I would say kind of recently within the past year. And so how to make the legacy color library available in Adobe Apps without incurring cost of new PMS color library in order to reprint older design jobs.
uh
Do you know? We got all kinds of questions in here.
uh I think designers can still use legacy PMS colors, but uh accessing legacy PMS colors in Adobe apps might require some additional steps, especially if you don't want to incur the cost of purchasing the latest PMS color library. But I think they can still use them.
Yeah, and someone says just set the numbers of the colors. So yeah, I think so. And also, I think having a good relationship with your printer, right, is probably the most important thing because they're going to have the most recent PMS books. They fade over time. I've got one that's probably like 20 years old now myself. I just use it every once in a while anyway. So having that good relationship with a printer is very important.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, yeah. Well, Collinx, thank you so much for sharing your wealth of knowledge with us today. I wanted to end it by saying thank you very much to it. But I also wanted to let everybody know that we are going to actually have another event. And it's unfortunately, Facebook is not going to let us stream directly onto the Tampa Bay Adobe user group the next time we have a meeting, but I will share it on my Facebook page, and I'll also be sharing this live feed on YouTube. So we will still have some opportunities, but I wanted to share with you guys while you're still on the call that the Tampa Bay Adobe user group is going to be having Curtis Ying. Curtis actually just got a job with Adobe, and he is on the Adobe Express team, and he is going to be talking about Adobe Express in May. So please mark your calendars for that event. I just want to give that shout out, but also thank you so much to Andrew. Thank you so much to Collinx for all of your presentation tonight. And also a big congratulations to Andrea for winning the Creative Cloud 12-month subscription. Congratulations. And thank you all for coming. And it's been a pleasure serving you all tonight. And like I said, be sure to stop in. And Sayla says, thank you so much, Mr. Mondesir. So great job, everybody. Thank you all for coming. And thank you for sticking around. And we love you so much. And we can't wait to see you next time. So take care, everybody.
Thank you, Sarah. Bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everybody.